Hello and welcome to Really Dicey. I'm Matt and I'm here with
James. We're going to be talking about some Kickstarter stuff today.
That's right. It is February 2023, believe it or not. So why don't you start us off?
Okay, well, I think I'll go with one of the big ones right now that's just gotten released. If anyone knows the name Kevin Crawford, he has created several role-playing games in the past. Most notably, Stars Without Number and Worlds Without Number more recently. Kind of an OSR feel game.
Mm-hmm.
Stars Without Number is a space-faring game, and Worlds Without Number is more fantasy type. He is kickstarting Cities Without Number, which is essentially a cyberpunk game. Again, the reputation that his stuff has is more than enough to make anybody sort of interested in checking this out. And it's going to have all your cyberpunk tropes in it, the hacking, vehicles, drones, corporations, all that cool stuff. And he's also said that it's going to be very compatible with the other two games in his series. So if you want to sort of mix and match it, so say you want to create like some sort of Shadowrun kind of concept, which is like essentially mixing magic with the cyberpunk.
Right.
You can use both of those books and sort of weave it together and make it work.
Nice.
The art looks fantastic. I'm sure we'll have the cover right up the screen there for you. It's a great cover, and I love the way he's sort of leaning into his Without Number kind of motif for his core games.
Yeah, I like that.
So
now that's pretty cool. Yeah, Stars Without Numbers is like this really vast universe. So Cities Without Numbers makes you think of this, like a Coruscant planet that's just been totally covered. You got like mega corporations and the city as far as you can see, covering everything. That's pretty cool.
That's sort of where I go with it. And it's like I think Coruscant wasn't the first one. I think I went to like Mega City 1 kind of thing with Judge Dredd and stuff, but same diff. Although I guess that's less cyberpunky, but I guess there is a little bit of cyberpunk in Judge Dredd. But anyway, I digress. It's one of those types of Kickstarters that, given the pedigree that's come from, if you are at all familiar with his previous work, that it's quality, and he puts a lot of time and effort and care into what he makes, and that in and of itself makes it well worth checking out. He's got alternate pledge levels for international and domestic backers. So, like myself, I'm from Canada, so I'm considered an international backer, unless I get it sent to an American post box, which I could do, I guess, I wanted. But I mean, it's nice to have those friendly shipping options for those people, and the fact that it's not. He doesn't really believe in doing too much in the way of stretch goals. He likes his content and stuff to speak for itself, and he doesn't feel that he needs to try and incentivize you. So the book should be, if it's not good enough, then I'm not doing my job right. Is kind of the feeling I get from this.
Sure.
So yeah, it's very simple, stripped down, styled campaign, and I really respect that. So Cities Without Number, give it a look-see.
I would expect that's probably close to or made its goal already. Is that backed?
It is. Well, it's at 345,000 Canadian right now, and 40,000 US goal, and 257 American is made already. So it's shot past its goal.
Excellent.
By a healthy margin. He's still got 23 days to go based on today's
at the time of filming.
Yes, exactly.
So is this available in a PDF or a hardcover, or what are the prices like?
Yeah, it'll have PDF. Your initial PDF is going to be 25 US. And it's delivered through Drive-Thru RPG. And then there's the second level, the fixer level, which will have an at-cost POD, as well as the PDF, which is $40. And then the higher levels, which would be $80, comes with an offset French book, but also comes with the book credit off of Drive Through RPG and the PDF. So it's fairly reasonable, all things considered, for what's probably going to be like a over 300-page book. Don't quote me on that. It's not here. I don't know, but his books are usually pretty hefty. All sorts of GM instructional stuff on how to create these worlds and creating adventures, as well as a whole bunch of like adventure seeds, like one line starting points. Here's your adventure idea, go kind of thing. So,
nice.
Well, what do you got?
Well, the first one I've got is Darkness of the Demimonde, a Victorian pulp horror game. So this uses a very light rules light system for fast play. It's you're rolling 2d6 and comparing them to a target number.
Yeah. Is it its own system, or is it based on a different system?
No, it's actually using a system from Tunnel Goons.
Okay.
Which I'm not familiar with, by a Nat Tremere.
Okay.
So I don't.
For some reason, it's twigging something in my memory, but I don't know if I've ever seen it. But yeah, go on.
So the idea is in the vague Victorian age, you will be playing up against the supernatural creatures, inspired by things like the Hammer horror films and the Penny Dreadful series.
Oh, nice.
And you can either play as Enlightened, which is a normal human that's investigating the supernatural, right? Or you can play an afflicted character who is a supernatural creature. So, you can either be investigating the vampires, or you can be a vampire yourself.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's a slim book. It's going to be about 36 pages or something. So it's light on setting. But it's the Victorian setting, so there's plenty of information about that.
Is it leaning at all into like any steampunk elements at all, or is it?
It doesn't seem to be, and that's actually what I like about it. I have a strange relationship to steampunk. I mean, on one hand, it's kind of neat. I love all the crazy stuff and the brass and all that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I actually really like the Victorian era. Charles Dickens is one of my favorite authors. And so I find that steampunk, they always get carried away in the punk, and they're pretty fast and loose with the Victorians, with the actual age. So what I like about this game is it looks like it's really based on the material from 19th century. So the art is, the vampire looks like Nosferatu. Right?
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the detectives are Sherlock Holmes, like, sort of thing. So I like it that, I mean, it's strange to say in a supernatural game, but it looks a little more grounded in the Victorian age.
Oh, and that's fine. I mean, like, it's as fans of stuff like Call of Cthulhu, which definitely leans similar to that, like trying to take the realism of that, and the Victorian age definitely has its own kind of evocative setting. That's kind of, I think everybody could sort of wrap their heads around it and have fun with it too. So yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Good. I mean, they say it's a gothic horror game, but I think they really mean it. I mean, I think it looks more like actual gothic horror instead of kind of what gothic horror has come to mean now, if you know the difference.
Gothic horror in setting, not gothic horror in concept.
Yeah, exactly. So so it's going to be it looks like it's going to be a small book, but it's fairly affordable. The PDF is $6.
Nice.
The print on demand, which comes through Drive Through RPG, is $10 for a soft cover, and then for a deluxe edition is only $18, which is pretty amazing. And the estimated delivery date is July.
Oh, it'll be done quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice when they get that
Yeah.
that figured out in quick time.
So and the book has already made its goal. They've about doubled the money they need, so there's no risk in there. It's got about another 2 weeks to go, so check it out if you like, actual Victorian pulp.
Yeah. I actually might.
Yeah.
I think, like we've said before, we do these things all the time. It was like, you make recommendations of things for people to check out, but whether or not we're able to or want to back them ourselves. But like that one is something I think I might actually take a look at. And like the barrier to entry is like $6 if I just want the PDF.
Exactly. If you just want the PDF, I mean, really, if you have any interest at all, just throw them $6 and get the PDF.
Totally. Well, I have another one that's because right now it's like the whole Zine Quest thing's going on, obviously. So yours probably falls into that. My next one is called Loot Hunters. Pouch of Gold. Now, this is made by a gentleman who has made several of these before, and I'd read his name, but I would butcher it because he's from Greece. So it's got lots of vowels and lots of consonants. But regardless, he does all the art and he does all the writing for it. And it's a wonderful stark kind of style for it. And they're basically books of maps and locations and regions, as well as a bunch of adventures within those areas that use those maps as well. And the last one looked like it was about 100 pages, actually, the Loot Hunters first edition, not first edition, but the first book in the series was called First Coin. And it's well reviewed, well appreciated on Drive-Thru RPG, just to do my due diligence on it. And again, it's another really simple, like buy the PDF or buy the PDF and the print book. Really simple, very system neutral, agnostic. So you can use it with anything. So if you're playing Symbaroum, pull that off the shelf and play it with that. If you're doing Pathfinder, if you're doing D&D, whatever you're working with, this works in really well. It feels like it's probably very much stat free. So very, very easy tool for GMs, which is something I definitely like to have sort of in my back pockets. Like you want to run something really quick, we'll just pull this out. You got maps and everything ready to go. Boom, you're on your way.
Now, this looks familiar. Is this the same guy that the Explore Maps? Is that?
Yes, that's the name of his company, is Explore Maps.
So I've backed some of his maps before. In fact, I used one recently in a game. Isn't that beautiful?
That's the look. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, in its simplicity. I mean, it's not like it's uber detailed art, but I mean, I like the images of his characters and stuff on the website on the Kickstarter page, which you'll see right here. It just again, it's evocative. Yeah, wherever Manny put it for us. I like that kind of hand drawn look of things, and it feels like that aesthetic goes all the way through. And I mean, obviously it does. I mean, he does all the art, so he's drawing the art, he's drawing the maps by hand, and so it's a pretty little book. And again, it's like your base. You just get the PDF, $5. The $3, £3, or euros. It's the backwards C with the lines through.
Not very much money.
It's $5 Canadian, which is pretty good. Or if you want to get the physical one with the PDF, it's $22 Canadian. So you're probably looking at 15 to 20 US. So very reasonable, especially for a 100-page book.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, so again, this one I'm gonna back this one. I'm gonna order it and I'm gonna take a look. Have fun with that. So
I'm gonna look into that because I've really enjoyed the maps I've gotten from him.
Well, I love that you have some history with it, so that just makes me more and more interested in it. So let's get this guy out there. And so, here, let me see if I can pronounce his name. just for him, because I think he deserves that attempt. Where is it on here? Loot Countries. Okay, Gerasimos Halogeratos.
All right.
Okay, Gerasimos. I hope I got it right. So if I did, drop us a line. Say something in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Great stuff. Okay. All right. So the next one I've got on my list, I'm really excited for. In fact, I've already backed it. It is Kobolds Ate My Baby, the Orange Edition. Have you ever played Kobolds Ate My Baby?
I have not, but you've talked about it a few times, and you seem to have a lot of affection for it.
It is a fantastic game. It bills itself as the original beer and pretzel role-playing game. No, I don't know about original, but it's great. So in the game, you play a kobold. And the first thing I got to say is these are first edition kobolds. So they're little dog-like creatures instead of dragon-obsessed lizards that they've some become. I don't know why, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so you play a kobold. Kobolds are short, weak, stupid, and they die a lot. So, and they're always hungry. So you've been sent out by your big fat king to bring him food. His favorite food is human babies. They're delicious.
Okay.
So you go out into the world and you have just horrible misadventures and you die all the time, and it is really, really fun. I've played at a lot of conventions. It can be mixed with all sorts of things. I've played mixed with a Call of Cthulhu sort of thing. I've played it with zombies. I've played kobolds in space and all this stuff. So this new edition,
sorry, go on.
So this new edition has a new rule set, different from the old rule set, and it looks even better. The new rules are fairly simple. You roll 1 or 2 6-sided dice, and then you compare that to a chart. And depending on what you roll and what you were trying to do, it tells you if you succeed, which is nice. You don't even have to learn the rolls. You just look at the chart. Everybody gets one of the charts, and you look at it and go, "Oh, okay." It's really simple. The characters, whenever something bad happens to them, when they fail a check, or they act in an unkobold manner, or they take what would be normally considered damage, you get a kobold death check, it's called. So you have 12 little skulls in your character sheet, and when you get a death check, you make a death check. So you roll 2d6 and add the number of death checks that you have. If it's over 12, you die horribly.
Of course. Do you have multiple characters at once running? Because if it's high,
you have one character at once, and as soon as he dies, you just make another one.
Oh, okay. Like character creation is really quick then?
Yeah, it's really quick. Okay. In this edition, you've got a job. You've got 2 paws, so you can carry one thing in each paw. That's it.
That's pretty easy. I like that. That sounds like a real hoot. I'm gonna.
It is really fun. It's so nice to kind of flip the fantasy genre on its head and play the stupid cannon fodder bad guys and make dumb decisions. And when your character dies, you stand up at the table with your hand over your heart and make a soliloquy. You give a eulogy for your dead character.
Oh, little Smashy, the kobold. We knew him well.
Exactly, just like that. It is a really fun game, and I'm really excited to see this new edition. The first thing too late for the first thing, but one thing I should say is this isn't on Kickstarter. Actually, this is on Backer Kit.
Okay.
Don't find it on Kickstarter. You'll find it on Backer Kit. So
we'll give you links below.
Links below. That's right. So There's the orange book, which is the rule book. At different levels, you can get a plush kobold. So they've made a little doll, a little plushy kobold. You can get Smorgasbord, which is Kobold Ate My Baby plus Morkborg. They've combined the two into a silly zine. I don't know what that's like.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a coloring book and one orange crayon because they're all orange.
Of course.
You can get a dice set, and you can get a digital adventure pack.
Okay. I'm going to have to check this one out too. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like the kind of game that is well catered to a particularly notorious GM.
Yes.
Okay, that's right up my alley.
Yep. So this game has completely smashed its goal, and it's got about 2 weeks left. If you just want the cute little plushie, that's $25. By the way, there's a video on the backer page, and the little plushie explains to you how to play the game. So you get to see the plushie, and he explains the game, and it just takes 10 minutes. It's really easy. The plushie is $25. The PDF is $15. The book is $20, which is great. And then they go up from there. You can get all the PDFs, all the retail stuff. You can get the dice. And then there's the ultimate levels called Take My Money. Everything that exists. All the stuff they have, which looks like it's even got older editions of the game. And they're expecting to have this out in October, which is pretty good.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, Kobolds Ate My Baby is a lot of fun. Really.
As a quick addendum to that, one of the last fantasy D&D games I ever played, which was probably about 10, 15 years ago, I actually played a kobold. We had a concept where I wanted to make this little kind of this character who was like little dog syndrome, and he essentially got stuck in a trap that was made by one of the other player characters, No, sorry, I got that backwards. He was the one who got stuck in a trap, and so he got his trained dog to go get him some lunch, and came back with me in his jaws. And I said, no, don't eat me. I'll get you out of the trap. And so I get him out of the trap, and he owes me a life debt, and so we started hanging out from there on forward. And so he's your standard dwarf, and he's doing everything by the rules, and I'm this little dog rogue kobold who likes getting into trouble. And it was one of the best characters I ever created, and it was just a lot of fun. So I could see reliving some of that kind of energy with a game like this. So.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and it's really easy to put together and run a game. It's really simple. It
seems like it.
If your players are silly and chaotic, which they probably are.
Usually are, yeah.
Then you don't even need a plot. You're like, okay, go into that forest and
just aim them.
Yeah, you aim them and they'll end up getting the fight and attacking squirrels and poking bears. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna back that one actually. So, okay, my last one of the day. Now this one is a bit weirder. Anyone who knows me knows I like some things that are very cultish. I like a lot of cult films. I love Bubba Hotep, and I love.
I love that film.
That's a great movie, but it's definitely on the fringes. It's like when you describe it, it's about geriatric Elvis fighting a mummy in his old folks' home with a little black man who thinks he's brain. Yes,
a black man.
So I like it weird sometimes.
Yeah, that's weird.
And this game sort of leans into that, not in necessarily a comedic way, just very esoteric. The description I've sort of created for it is it's a colorful, surrealist, samurai musical gaming in an esoteric dream world. That's really spitting a lot of stuff out on the screen. I realize
that's a lot of stuff.
But yeah, it feels very unique. I mean, it's like the setting is just a series of plates sitting in empty space, as far as I can see, surrounded by the sun above it, kind of thing. And their day night cycle. A day is usually what one session is a day, but a day is differently perceived by the characters, so the length is variable sometimes. So sometimes it's, the day is a week long, and to them they're just wandering around in the noontime desert for that entire time, and sometimes it can be shorter. One of the really cool elements of it is they have this what looks to be, even though they're not calling it that, but a spell system that is referred to as tracks. And it basically, each track is a song, and they've got like a list of them on the page here, and they're familiar songs. It's like "Imagine" by the Beatles, "500 Miles," which the Proclaimers and stuff, "Space Oddity" by Bowie, which is, that sort of fits in this kind of weirdness.
Sure, yeah.
And you sing the song, and it has this effect, and you gather these tracks as part of your special abilities. Now, it doesn't necessarily say you need to sing it at the table, but I think that would be kind of cool if you did, even if you're a horrible singer.
Get those keyed up at least. If you can't,
exactly.
Sing, you should play them.
Yeah, and like I say, there's not too much about the rules on the Kickstarter page, but I think based on it uses 2d6 for resolution system and has 3 core stats, and it says it's very OSR inspired, which I sort of get with that. That sort of fits with the weirdness element of sort of most OSR games definitely have that kind of feel to them. But it's so aggressively unique. It's something I want to look at. I want to get this book, and I want to read it, and I want to see where the author goes with it. So, and it's another one it's very reasonable. If you wanted to just get the PDF, it's $15 US. And they keep you in the loop with development updates and stuff like that. But if you want the book and the PDF, $34. And by the looks of it, it's going to be a 200-page book. So this isn't a teeny thing. So this is a very, very affordable, very reasonably priced Kickstarter for something that just sounds so unique. So and that's there aren't any real, the stretch goals. They're just adding to the content of the book. Rivals, more tables dealing with different locations, and at $4,000 they have mythological blades, so it's probably going to definitely be leaning into the whole samurai elements. You have magic magic swords and stuff, and the histories and the quests surrounding them and stuff. So so I really, really hope this does well for them, because it just sounds so wonderfully inventive. Written by Sophia Tinney, her name is. So she did another one that was called The Kingdom, I believe, or Kingdom. I'm very excited about this one. Just something really, really different. Check it out.
Is it fully backed?
It is fully backed at this point.
All right.
But its goal was $1,500, and it's at almost $3,000 now. So it is fully backed, but it's got 25 days to go. So it'll definitely clear. I think this one would do well to get a lot more exposure. This is the kind of thing when I back it, I'm not the kind of person who usually like, oh, I backed this on Kickstarter and post it to Facebook or anything like that. I want to do that for this. Yeah, I'm not your promotional line, but I want people to check this out, because I think this is something people could be interested in, and I think it deserves attention, and I hope And again, it's like these are always gambles that you're trying to. I hope it's as good as it seems like it wants to be. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to take a chance on this one, and I implore people to maybe do the same, or at least take a look and see if it's something they might be interested in checking out. It's I don't often really hammer down trying to get people to check out stuff like this, but this is one. And just for clarification, I don't know the creators or anything like that. I know sometimes I've backed some people that I know, and I've talked about some projects by people I know on this. I don't know anything about these people. I just saw the project and I saw the concept, and I'm like, I need to check this out. I need to get this book. So I'm excited about that one. Yeah,
check that out. Okay. Well, there you have it. A couple of really exciting projects to throw your money at. And thanks for watching. And we'll see you next month with some more recommendations. Okay, like and subscribe and all those sort of things. Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye.